Carmelina here from VedicLight18.com, and today we're looking at an upcoming aspect that's very karmic and very blunt and intense. And it's the T-square involving Rahu and Ketu, the nodes of the moon, the karmic nodes, and Uranus, the planet of unpredictability. And I'm calling it Uranus from now on instead of Uranus. Uh, so anyways, so this is a T-square. What's a T-square? A T-square is when two planets are in opposition, and then you have a third planet sitting at the midpoint. And this planet, which we call the apex, is making a square to both planets on either side. Another way of looking at it is that the two planets in opposition are squaring that midpoint planet. And this creates a lot of pressure. This is like a pressure cooker type of energy that has to be released some way, somehow. And it could be an eruption, it could be an explosion, it could be an earthquake, it could be, something like that. Now, by the way, Rahu and Ketu are not planets, they're shadow planets. They're basically mathematical points in the sky. Nonetheless, they're very potent. They deal with our karma, they deal with our past and with our future and things like that. And so, the T-square energy carries two squares, the energy of two squares and one opposition. So we have three hard aspects in one aspect. And so this is intense. This means we have to solve some sort of problem. We have to fix some sort of problem, some sort of issue. Because it involves Ketu and Rahu, it has to do with our past and it has to do with the future. So Rahu pertains to the future and the things that we must develop in this lifetime. So it's really important to understand your Rahu, where it's sitting in your chart, what house it's in, what sign is in, what nakshatra it's in. Do you have Rahu conjunct a planet? If so, then you have to develop the things of that planet because that planet is underdeveloped. Okay, so Rahu represents unfamiliar territory, the things, the direction you have to go towards, and it can be scary because it's unfamiliar. And sometimes a lot of people want to avoid that direction. But if you want to grow and you want to evolve, spiritually, psychologically, you have to go there. Ketu is always opposite Rahu. Ketu deals with our past. Ketu deals with our comfort zone, the things that we have developed already in a past life and that we've brought here into this life. And so, it has a lot to do with our attachments as well and our comfort zone. And so Uranus in Kritika Nakshatra, Kritika is very sharp. It has to do with sharp tools and even weaponry and weapons of mass destruction and things like that. It's very fiery and it's this cutting energy, and it's in a square with Rahu and Ketu. And so it wants to cut away your comfort zone and push you towards your future, the things that you have to develop in order to evolve. And that's not easy because, again, we have double the energy of a square, and a square puts you in a situation that you don't want to be in. You want to be anywhere else but there. But you have to face it. You don't have a choice. You have to do something about it because it's going to keep coming up and keep coming up. So you have to do something about it. People that have T-squares in their charts, they're some of the most resilient people. They are often called to make decisions rapidly and to overcome challenges rapidly, because there's some sort of urgency here. We're talking about like an eruption, something that's going to erupt, something that's going to happen, and we just have to deal with it. You have to find a solution, you have to scramble to find some sort of solution. And with Uranus, things are unpredictable. Uranus deals with, yes, he's the great awakener. He's also the great disruptor when he's in a hard aspect. He has a lot to do with, he's the black sheep. He's the nonconformist. the disruptor of the status quo. He shakes long-standing traditions. He's always creating something new, something new, something original, kind of like Brahma from, the Hindu Trinity, who's always creating something original. And nothing he creates is the same. It's always original and unique, kind of like snowflakes, which is pretty amazing to me. So Uranus here, there's definitely going to be something that's going to happen. Is it an information that comes out and can disrupt the collective consciousness? Yeah, it can be. It could be that. Uranus is in Taurus. This is the sign of nature. So I'm feeling like it can pertain to some sort of natural disaster that I say natural. It's not that. I've been talking about this since the Uranus transit into Taurus, how nature is going to be further modified with technology because of this transit. And anyways, so something pertaining to maybe an earthquake or some other natural disaster that can transpire, that can take place, and things like that. Rahu in Aquarius deals with the collective. It deals with humanity. It's the sign of human beings, of society, of the people, of social causes, of protests. And it has also to do with technology and advanced technology and very futuristic thinking. And K2 is in Leo, our individual expression and individual creativity. It's ruled by the sun. It has to do with the leaders of the world and the people that make decisions, the leaders that make decisions for us, for the people, for society, for humanity, and things like that. And then we have, like I said, Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus has a lot to do with nature. Taurus deals with wealth and the financial markets and things like that. Now, this T square is going to want to realign you, but it's in a difficult way. It's not going to be easy. So it's about cutting off your past and moving towards your future. This can be very abrupt, okay? But because you're listening to this video, you're listening to my transit video, and the purpose of astrology and talking about what's happening in the sky and the transits and all of these things is so that you can move forward in your life with more awareness, with more consciousness, so that you can deal with things in a more conscious way. Because if you deal with this T square in an unconscious type of way, it's going to create a lot of drama for you, unnecessary drama, unnecessary problems in your life. This is not the time to be impulsive, but something out of the blue can definitely manifest. Your reaction is going to be very important. The things of K2 in Leo will need to be released and let go of. So really this T square energy has to do with this tension that's been building up in your life, this pressure that you've been feeling for the past couple of weeks and months and even longer. And so now it's reaching a peak, it's reaching a breaking point. And so it could lead to a breakthrough or a breaking point. But I always say that the breaking point leads to a breakthrough anyways. So there's that. And so you want to look at that K2 in Leo, because that's what we have to release. It's a karmic release. And Leo has a lot to do with authority and authoritative figures. And so maybe there's some sort of authoritative figure. Maybe it's just in your mind. Maybe you're attributing too much authority to somebody in your life, and it's blocking you, or it's interfering with your individuality. It's interfering with who you are. And so, Uranus is really all about freedom. And that's what he wants to do in this T square. He wants to free you and release you from, some sort of karmic tie and some sort of karmic bond. And that's what's going to happen. And it does pertain to some sort of authority. some sort of blockage to your individuality, because again, that's what Leo is. And so the process is going to be difficult. That letting go and that release is going to be difficult. It's, again, Uranus is in Kritika Nakshatra, which deals with really fiery purification and transformation and truth. And it's about being true to you, being true to your individuality. We have these themes that keep coming up. The last new moon was in Kritika Nakshatra. Before that, we had a full moon in Swati, ruled by Venus, and I think that Venus was in Kritika. I'm not sure. But anyways, and so we're supposed to go towards that Rahu, and even that is going to be difficult. And Rahu in Aquarius is really about the collective consciousness. It's about belonging. It's about connecting with other people, associating with other people. But you want them to be the right people. And for them to be the right people, you have to be true to yourself. Okay, so it's a difficult process here going on. It's a difficult karmic release, and it's significant. Now, another thing to consider always when you're looking at hard aspects, you want to look at what I call helper aspects. And these are planets that help, the planets that are in a hard aspect. It's supportive energy, basically. And we have Uranus in a sextile with Venus, and Venus is the dispositor of Uranus and Taurus. And so these two are in a sextile, a very harmonious aspect. This sextile supports your freedom and it supports your originality. And that's a positive. And then there's Pluto making a trine to Uranus. There's Neptune making a sextile to Uranus. And so these are more, collective type of aspects. But still, this is a lot of supportive energy. Another positive that I find, that I see as a positive, this is happening in fixed signs. So Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, these are all fixed signs. They're very determined, very resilient. I mean, yes, they are very unflexible. They don't like change. But to me, this shows me that whatever transpires, whatever happens, you have that resilient energy and determined energy available to, go through this process of karmic release, basically.